Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you think winter is done with Canada just yet, think again. January is reminding us why it is one of the most volatile and unpredictable months of the year, and tonight we are tracking a major pattern shift that will affect almost every part of the country over the coming days. Before we get into the big picture, let us start with what is happening right now. The Arctic air that dominated late December and the first few days of January is finally beginning to retreat. Parts of Alberta and Saskatchewan are already feeling the start of a warm-up, and that trend continues eastward as we head through midweek. Across Atlantic Canada, temperatures are hovering near the freezing mark, but do not let that fool you. Active and potentially disruptive weather is on the way. January is historically the coldest and snowiest month of the year for much of Canada. St. John's alone averages around 95 centimeters of snow during January, and many other cities are not far behind. December 2025 was already colder than normal for most of the country, except for southern British Columbia and parts of the north. That colder pattern carried straight into the start of January. But now, we are seeing a clear shift. Winter is about to hit the pause button for many regions as milder Pacific air begins pushing in from west to east. Over the next several days, much of Canada will experience above seasonal temperatures, and for some, this will feel like a much-needed break from the deep freeze. However, and this is important, do not let this warm-up fool you. Strong signals continue to point toward a return to colder conditions in the second half of January, likely similar to what we saw in December. An active storm track is setting up, and that means Alberta clippers, Colorado lows, and even Texas lows could track through eastern Canada, bringing a wide range of winter weather hazards. Lake effect snow is also expected to make a comeback once colder air returns. Now let us talk about the immediate concern for tonight and into Wednesday. Southern Ontario is dealing with the price of this January thaw. As milder air moves in at the surface, freezing rain, snow, and even rain near the shores of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario are all possible. This mix makes conditions especially dangerous, not just on highways, but on sidewalks, driveways, and parking lots. Black ice will be a major concern, particularly in areas prone to freezing rain. Even a few hours of ice accumulation can create extremely slippery conditions, so extra caution is needed if you are heading out this evening or early Wednesday. As we move overnight into Wednesday morning, this system shifts eastward. Southern Quebec, including Ottawa and Montreal, is looking at a mainly snow event, with general snowfall amounts in the 5 to 10 centimeter range, and some areas potentially reaching 15 centimeters. The Maritimes come into focus next. New Brunswick, especially around Moncton, could see 15 centimeters or more of snow from Wednesday into early Thursday. Nova Scotia, however, is more likely to see rain due to milder air pushing in, with rainfall totals in the 5 to 15 millimeter range. Freezing rain remains a concern for parts of southern New Brunswick and portions of Newfoundland, particularly Wednesday night into Thursday. This could lead to slippery roads and localized travel disruptions. Out west, the prairies are relatively quiet in terms of precipitation. The big story there is temperature. After days of bitter cold, readings are climbing, bringing relief across much of Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta. British Columbia, however, is a different story. Heavy rain continues across Metro Vancouver, and flooding concerns remain in low-lying areas. But it does not take much elevation to change that rain into heavy snow. Travel through mountain passes will be treacherous tonight and tomorrow, with snow-covered roads, reduced visibility, and rapidly changing conditions. Interior and mountain regions will see significant snowfall, while lower elevations continue to deal with soaking rain and standing water. Anyone traveling through BC's higher terrain should be prepared for winter driving conditions. So yes, the January thaw is here, but think of it more like an intermission rather than the end of winter. There is a price to pay for warmer air, and that price comes in the form of freezing rain, messy mixes, heavy snow, and travel disruptions. And once this mild stretch passes, winter is expected to roar back for the second half of January. If you want to stay ahead of these rapidly changing conditions, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. I bring you clear, detailed, and up-to-date weather coverage so you know what is coming and how to prepare. Stay safe tonight, watch for icy conditions, and I will be back with more updates as this pattern continues to evolve.